Welcome back to Tom's Garage again, boys and girls. Good morning. It's actually morning, 10:30. Today, got us a little 21-inch Troy-Bilt. Troy-Bilt 11A-A230711 with a Briggs and Stratton 550EX 140cc. He said somebody gave him this lawnmower. He don't know anything about it, and I don't either. We're going to figure out what's going on with it. He said it's been sitting in that guy's garage for years. Ain't bad. He said the old man passed away and his wife just give it to him, so let's see if it's going to be any good. What's the oil look like? It's on the ad mark, but it's nice and clean. That's good enough to see if it'll run. Ooh, oh, look at that. Here. Yeah. Okay. Phew, good gosh. That stinks there. That's old. Alright, first thing we're going to do, well, let's check his blade. Yeah, he's going to need a new blade. That blade's wore out. Look at all the oil on it. Wow. Yeah, that whole thing's saturated. That oil seal is bad. He's going to need a new oil seal. Either that or this shaft is warped. Yep. May have a bent shaft. I've seen them bend like that so bad that they'll push that oil seal over and leak. Let's pull the spark plug out of it and spin that thing over and see if it's bent. If not, we'll see if it'll run, and then we'll replace that blade and oil seal. Just pull the plug out of it. Here. Well, let's go back around here, grab our little clamp. Clamp the bar cable back, zone control cable. Just like that. Let's spin this thing over and see if it's bent. No, it don't look like it's bent at all. Hey, be careful how you grab it. That's sharp right there. Okay, that's fine. We'll go ahead and slap a new spark plug in because you don't want to change it anyway. Set her back down. That's why the oil's low. Leaked out. Let's see, we'll go ahead and gap this at 30 thou. Wow, that is kind of bent. There it is. Good enough. Right. know what this is for. We'll cut this. He's got this thing wired wired open. The telephone wire, we'll get rid of all that. That fella must have been retired from the phone company. All right. We'll see if the auto choke is working. It is. We'll take it out here to the door. Spray some carb cleaner in it, see if it'll hit. If it cranks and dies that way, we know it's got, you know, compression and spark and all that stuff, and it'll tell us it's a fuel problem. That'll get this squirt. No, we'll get it. Wow, it actually stayed running. That surprises me. We're still going to go through and clean the carburetor, and it don't smoke or nothing like that. As bad as that fuel tank smells, that old stale gas in there, I'm surprised it kept running. Let's get that thing back on the table now that we know it runs good. Runs pretty good. Let's see if it'll crank back. No, she ain't gonna want to crank back. Yeah, it's got some bad gas. Okay. Grab some tools. We're sucking an 8mm socket. We'll start with the 8mm. Look at there, that fell off. That's what that noise was. Huh. So much for that. Here's one in the time. All right, put your 7mm in there. And grab our favorite carburetor cleaning pan. Unplug the crankcase vent. All right. Let's go see what we have. What do we have? What do we have? Ew. He must have been using True Fuel. Ew, I don't like that stuff. Mmm. Mmm. Go ahead and drain whatever's in there. Got a lot of trash in there. Yeah, a lot of little trash and stuff in there. We'll carry this to the door over here and blow it out real good. She's nice and clean in there now. Oh, 7mm. And of course the little Welch plug fell out. The little Welch plug goes right there. I just leave them out when I see them missing. It still seems to run perfectly fine without it. Stale fuel. And that jet is clogged up. It's got trash in it. That one seems to be pretty clean. That's just a plug, that's not a jet. Stuff all over my hands. I'm getting this thing dirtier than it was. Okay. Well, where'd it go? seen you fall. There you are. All right. I'll tell you, that true fuel stinks. This has got to be in line with that. Make sure you get it all the way down. Alrighty. Alright, there we go. Before I put this on, let's flip this thing over. See what we can do with that oil seal. Yeah, look at that, just running it. Just running it like that, you can see how wet it is again. Wow. Oh, let me grab my oil drain bucket. Come around here and go ahead and get the oil draining. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Ooh, we're gonna have to scrape this deck too. This thing is nasty. Nasty. And I'm hoping that this adapter comes off easy. Yep. It's been soaking in oil. It's still in good shape. Usually I got to get my big puller and heat this thing up and bait on it. I'll tell you, this thing is an oily mess. Yeah. Another string. Big old budget rental truck just pulled up next door. I guess somebody's getting some new furniture. Let me grab my putty knife. Let's go get it straight. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and scrape this thing, and I'm going to take it out there and hose it real good. Yeah. just so you could work on it. That feller must have cut his grass early in the morning when it was still a little cool. And all that dew and everything's still on the grass. That's what happens when you cut dewy, wet grass. It just sticks. All right, y'all hang with it for a second. I'm gonna get this thing out there, hose it off. The next time y'all see it, it'll be a lot cleaner. Y'all hang with it just a second. All right, got her hosed off, got her cleaned up. We gotta clean that shaft right there. We better slide that new oil seal over the shaft. And that thing's got to be smooth. We're going to have to shine that shaft. Scrape what we can off of it. I got an idea that maybe that rust right there must have crept up into that seal. You reckon that's what caused this thing to start leaking? That's my hypothesis, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, let's see what we've got so far. That's water. I think it is. Yeah, it's water. Grab us a little abrasive cloth here. Pretty smooth. We'll keep going. Get it past the compression stroke. Raw. Grab the flywheel. Well, I tell you, this is a workout right here. Feel the burn, baby. pretty shiny. Ooh, got me sweating. Little Hilco lube. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's get that oil seal out if we can. I don't want to bend that. Let's say we'll take a screwdriver. Yeah, some Phillips head. Let's see, I want to use an old screwdriver. I don't want to take a chance on hurting my good ones. There's an old one here. I don't want to take a chance on damaging the block. Oh, that thing's in there. I seen it move. Ooh, look out. Yeah. If it was a little bigger, I could have just ran some sheetrock screws into it and pulled them out. Get a little bit bigger screwdriver. Bigger screwdriver. Wow. There we go. Destroyed that spring there. Okay. Okay, let me hit pause. Let me go look up a oil seal. Let's say that part number, I believe, it's going to be a 391483S. This is the oil seal y'all hang with. 391483S. This one's a little different though. Seems to be fatter. This area here seems to be a little smaller. Maybe it's just because I've got that one almost destroyed. It's the same diameter on the outside. Huh. See if we can squeeze it on here without rolling it over. Without hurting it. Let me get it past that. Get that keyway up on top there. Just kind of roll it on. And don't hurt it. Don't roll it. I'm trying to be very gentle. I don't want to hurt that spring inside of there. You'll cause that spring to come out. Tell you what, if that's the correct oil seal, that thing is tight. Just get it past this little edge right here. Whew, wipe my hands off here. Let me take that clamp off. I don't want that shaft to be spinning. told me this was the correct seal. We'll just keep spinning it around, get it past that lip right there. Just trying to be easy with it and just kind of work it slowly. Ooh, everything's so oily, it's hard to hang on to. I'll be surprised if this is the correct seal, because this thing is awful tight. Let me hit pause. I'm going to go find something to drive that on with. Y'all hang with just a second. All right, pow. I found that in that box of special tools for Briggs and Stratton I bought from that old fella several years ago. It looks like he's been hammering on it, so that's probably what he's been using this for, is a oil seal dropper. You got to have a special license to be an oil seal dropper. Still looks intact. I noticed last time when we took it out, it was in there pretty flush. Get a little bit bigger hammer, a little heavier hammer, a little heavier hammer. I don't want to hit it so hard I knock the lawnmower across the table. A little bit more down here. Feels pretty good. A little bit more down at the bottom. I don't want to drive it in so far I'll block out oil passage. I don't want to do that. So that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Looks good for my house. All right. I'm gonna go wash this in the parts washer. I don't want to stick it on there. Being wet like that, you'll think it's still leaking. Y'all hang with it. Let me go wash this thing. Wow. Nice and dry. Put a little anti-seize compound in here so it won't get stuck. We have to take it back off again one of these years. Let's reach into blade drawer, one of the blade drawers. I always keep a couple of these 21-inch blades. I keep a 22, Husqvarna blades, all kinds of good stuff in there. I go through a lot of 21-inch blades. I forgot about that. Let me go hang with a second. Let me go clean this. Now we got that anti-seize compound all over the camera. Okay. All right, let's finish what we was doing now. She's got a nice new shiny shaft. All right, let me change cameras. We'll set this thing back up and put it back together. All right. Somebody's going to have to call me and tell me and remind me I didn't put oil in it yet. Because I put the dipstick back in there and that's against my policy. Go ahead and get that off. Yep. Okay. choke mechanism on there. There's a hole. The throttle linkage back on there. The carburetor stuck back on there. Put the fuel tank back on its grommets. All right, choke is working. Let's go ahead and put oil in it. I'm thinking about it. Or else I might forget. We're right about half a quart. We'll put just before we reach that line right there. Just before we reach that line right there. Let's check it. Whew. We're almost to the full mark. Almost there. And we're right there on full. Sounds good. Try that one more time. Perfectly full. All right. All right. Stick that back over there. All right. Plug in your crankcase vent. Two little 7mm size head screws in there. Be gentle, it's going in plastic. All right, back to the 8mm. I should have blew that thing off before I stuck it back in there. Ooh, lordy, lordy. All right. We'll probably end up replacing that string for him too. It looks like it's getting a little frayed. Be gentle with these. Hey look, it's a Brian Welch plug. It's Australian. See if he watches the video and sees that. It's a test. He usually does watch all my videos. I gotta get caught up on his. He's doing some video of himself now. All right, let's put some fuel in it. Can't lose that little gasket right there. A little more. Okay, that's good. I don't guess them plumbing guys have anything to do. There's been a whole crew of them over there all day just piddling around doing yard work. They must not have any work to do. Y'all come over here, I got plenty of stuff to do. Okay, what did I do with the gas cap? Somebody stole it. Oh, no, there it is. Ah, let's take a little peek. It's still dry. That's water where I just washed it. That's like oil on it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Uh-oh, let me hit pause. Got a customer. All right. That was one of my older customers. He brought his little Echo 8 liter over here, just like that one. He said, "Tell him it won't rev up. It'll crank fine, but it won't rev up. It won't run good. It won't cut." Well, you know the famous Echo, how all that oil just oozing out of the muffler. I took it off and it was a stopped up spark arrestor. Fixed it for me out there on the spot. He was happy. Let's go take this by the door. Well, let me grab a 593-260 air flitter. All right. Got to do air filter on there. Take it over here and see how she runs. Let it run for a few minutes. And then we'll get it on the table and let it sit for a little while and we'll check to make sure it's good. Alrighty, she's been sitting there for about 5 minutes. Let's check it out. Hey, perfectly dry, baby. No leaky. That's good. Alright, that was a complete service and a new blade and new oil seal on the Troy-Bilt 21-inch push mower. Well, alrighty, boys and girls, thanks for watching another time. Holler if you need me. I'm always here every day. Eat your vegetables, take your vitamins, and tell somebody you love them, because I love you. And by golly, we'll catch y'all on the next one.